up, what up? How y'all doing? Y'all can hear me? We good? We good? That's what's up. Good looking crowd. What's up, LA? That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm gonna read this real quick. Y'all don't laugh at me. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get this going. Hello. I'm Daytwan Thomas, editor-in-chief of Vibe magazine. It's an honor to be here, celebrating 50 years of hip-hop. Can you believe it's here already? That's crazy. Clap it up. So today we're talking to two absolute legends from hip-hop's golden era, but they're still rocking today. First up, this is gonna be a really big Brooklyn panel, because I'm from Brooklyn too. We have Big Daddy Kane from Brooklyn, who started out in 1987 as a member of the Juice Crew and soon became one of the most respected solo rappers of his generation. He penned classics like Ain't No Half Steppin', Smooth Operator, contributed to the symphony, that crazy last verse. Any other songs? Who else knows some songs from Big Daddy Kane? Anybody else? Raw? Nah, that's Rakim, but we gonna rock with that. He's also collaborated with Public Enemy, Busta Rhymes, Patti LaBelle, Quincy Jones, and so many more. And after 35 years, he's still rocking today. Let's give it up for Big Daddy Kane, y'all. Goody. Next up, we have one of the most prolific DJs, producers, drummers, and Easy Mo B out of Brooklyn, New York as well. His early hip-hop credits are with Big Daddy Kane on his breakthrough album, It's a Big Daddy Thing. And since then, his production skills have graced tracks like the Notorious B.I.G, Tupac, Busta Rhymes, Wu-Tang, Goody Mob, Mos Def, Wiz Khalifa, Alicia Keys, and the most incredible Miles Davis. And of course, Big Daddy Kane. He remains one of the most respected producers in the game. Give it up for Easy Mo B. All right, like I was saying earlier, this is a very Brooklyn panel out here in LA, but we're gonna keep it dope for y'all. First off, I do wanna make that connection to Brooklyn because I went to a high school out there in downtown Brooklyn called Sarah J. Hill High School. I went there, Big Daddy Kane went there, and Easy Mo B, from what I understand, when you were with the group Rapping is Fundamental, your man A.D. Money, he went to Sarah J.
Yep.
How did the whole union come together for you and Big Daddy Kane and that high school being involved?
Well, you're right. You said it. A.B. Money used to go to Sarah J. Hill with Big Daddy Kane, and all during the making of his first album.
Name what he asked you.
Yo, it's gonna be a lot of jokes.
This is what it takes to answer the
question.
But this is what it takes to answer the question. All throughout the making of Long Live the Kane,
Kane's first album.
yeah, A.B. Money was bringing me around Kane. And Kane has started to come around our projects, Lafayette Gardens and Bedford-Stuyvesant. And he was checking out this guy next door to me, rest in peace to him, Norman Glover,
Witch Doc.
AKA Witch Doc.
Yeah.
So he's coming right next door, so I was jealous. Like, yo, man, come and check me out.
Right.
So from there on, that's where the connection between me and Kane happened. And Kane started to record his second album. And I had always wanted to try to get with him. And around that time, that's when he finally was like, what you got? Show me what you got. So I ended up the first thing that we did was, it became Another Victory.
Another Victory, man. My goodness.
And then the other one was Calling Mr. Welfare.
One of my favorites.
So I want to just say, like, if you're trying to get into this business, if you're trying to find your place and your position, don't be afraid to chase things and people down. Because me, AB, Money, and JR, rapping is fundamental.
Yep.
We followed this guy around like puppies. Wherever he was going, there was times where he was like, yo, I'm going to Junior's. Y'all want to come?
Wow.
Junior's restaurant. Like, we going. I was so hungry. I was so starving. I just wanted my chance. I felt like I had what it took to offer something in the music business. And this guy is instrumental to my place in the music business.
Wow.
And he knows it. I tell him all the time. I'm eternally grateful for that.
That's what's up. We gotta clap that up.
Give it up for Big Daddy Kane.
Yes, indeed. And Kane, that's a big responsibility, man. Like, of course, there were rappers that were out around the time that you were coming out of Brooklyn and everything, and you linking with the Juice Crew, the legendary Juice Crew. We'll get into that. But what was that like? That responsibility, being that young, and ushering in this new era in hip hop.
Well, I started rapping in 1982. And I was basically going around different projects, battling people.
That's what it was back then. Yeah.
Battling different MCs in different projects, either at block parties or sometimes in their hallway or in,
Wherever
lobby of their building, wherever. House parties, things of that nature. And I was from a different area in Bed-Stuy than he was. I was from Lewis Avenue. He was in Lafayette Gardens. But my DJ was in Lafayette Gardens, Mr. C.
They lived in the same building, right? Y'all lived in the same joint?
Yeah, I lived in 11C, and Mr. C lived apartment 8C. When we was little kids, I used to look out the window with your mother and lean on the sill. I used to look down and he look up. He'd be like, yeah, what's up, booby? That's what the B in Easy Mo B stand for.
Yeah, boo.
Booby, family nickname.
So it was the type of thing where, I was, affiliated with artists from around my way on Lewis Ave, but I was also affiliated with artists from Lafayette Gardens. And before I got down with C, I was actually rhyming with A.B. Money.
Oh, wow. Now
Me,
that
A.B.
I
Money,
didn't know.
and another brother named Understanding. And then, I went to do my thing, and then these guys ended up getting together. And then they recruited JR, who I didn't even know JR rap. We used to call him Dollar Bill. Remember, when he was playing ball.
Yep.
Yeah. But we all was around each other and rap together. But I'm talking before I even made records.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And the gentleman that he mentioned, Norm, Witch Doctor, he had a crew called the Dominating Three, I believe.
Witch Doctor MC and the Dominating 3 MCs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Dominating Three. So, we all was around each other. And, one thing I do want to say about that is, like, when I was a crew with AB and Understanding, we called ourselves the Debonair Three. And it didn't take off. And then they got together and they formed, Riff.
Rapping is fundamental. Rapping is fundamental. Yo,
And you heard what he said about the determination. So I think that, it was his ambition and fire that made it possible for, those brothers to have a career.
Right.
And even with me, battling everybody, that's all I knew. It wasn't until '84 when I met Biz Markie
Just about to say.
that I understood, a bigger picture. And we met battling. We battled. And after the battle, he said, yo, I do a lot of shows in Long Island, Harlem, Bronx. If you get down with me, I promise you one day I'm gonna get you a record deal.
So you're hearing this, we got to set the stage for that. You're hearing this 1984, 85.
1984, in front of the Albee Square Mall.
Biz is known
No.
to a degree.
Well, he's on flyers.
He's on flyers,
but
right.
He has no records out.
There's no co-chilling yet, the label?
Nah. He has no records out.
So
Shantae was on Pop Art.
Wow.
Philadelphia-based
in
label.
Philly, right.
Yeah, there was no co-chilling yet. Yeah.
So you're believing this guy that basically goes all over the city. He's wild at the same time. Can you let the people know how Biz was before they got to see Biz?
This is what type of stuff Biz did. Biz, like there's a party in Long Island. We may have to go to, I don't know, let's say Brentwood, Long Island. Biz would buy a train ticket to like Hempstead, which is far away from Brentwood. And we would be on that train moving cart to cart, trying to hide from the conductor. Slowly moving cart to cart, because our tickets has expired.
Right.
And when the conductor finally catch up to us and kick us off the train, we in Brentwood.
You got to clap it up for Biz with the ingenuity. He knew what to do. In a quick sidebar, there's a documentary that's coming out. You're on the front of it, on the flyer of it, All in the Biz by Sasha Jenkins.
Yes.
Just going through his life. Let's talk about Biz real quick. Outside of that, what did he do throughout like your friendship to help you realize like, hey, I'm supposed to be here with him?
Biz was just so inspirational. Mm-hmm. He knew how to perform, and Biz was this type of guy that was like, if a known artist was on the show, Biz would greet him with love, show him love, and if the artist would brush him off, then he'd come to us and was like, we gotta tear it down. We gotta destroy them tonight. And I mean, that was his mentality. And I mean, like, he was just so ambitious, and he would do whatever, anything to, come off on stage. Mm-hmm. And he was a funny dude. His comedic sense was like amazing. And he could think of so much crazy stuff to do on stage that had the crowd laughing and enjoying themselves. Very, very, very creative.
Right.
I mean, like when he was working on his first album, like when Nobody Beats the Biz, he came to me, he was like, yo, I want to use the slogan from The Wiz, but instead say Nobody Beats the Biz instead of Nobody Beats the Wiz. Oh, and I want to try this style. And this is all he tells me. I want the style to be like, that's all I had to go off of.
So you were writing for him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gotta, write in that.
Hold on, he's just making the noise and you like,
yeah.
Where's the words? He's like, you got the words.
I mean, to me it sounded like, okay, we're gonna make up words. That's what I got from. We're gonna make up words and it's gonna end in ing.
Collaboration.
As the B.I.G, got E-N. Go for what I know, do on a show for human beings. I mean, it's going to end in ing. We're just going to make up words, to make it rhyme. That's what I got. I mean, the guy came to me and said, I want to make a song called Pickin' Boogers. And I'm like...
Did y'all hear that title?
Yeah.
I want a song. You go to a writer, you go to Big Daddy Kane and say, I want to make a song called Pickin' Boogers.
Yeah, I'm like, about what? I don't know, some stories about picking boogers, but somewhere in there, I just want you to say, hey, Ma, what's for dinner? Go up your nose and pick a winner. These are my instructions to follow to write a song,
And
but
make a hit.
Yeah, I mean, I just felt he had such a creative mind and unique because he thought the way no one else did,
Giving love to Biz, that's what's up. Now, yes, let's do that. Make sure y'all check out the documentary. Mo B, like, as you're getting into the game, you're doing the joints with Kane, things are starting to pop for you. What did the relevance of Kane looking out for you on that second album do for the rest of your career and who you started to work with?
Well, I always looked at it like my opportunity to work with Kane was not just a chance, it was an endorsement. He
Like that
endorsed-
cosign.
Yeah, you got to understand at that time, Big Daddy Kane was of the elitist of MCs,
Yeah.
you know, that you could name. And then I had the opportunity to be on this man's album. I'll never forget when, I don't know if Warner Brothers gave me the promo copy or if you gave it to me, but when I first got the album, I turned it over, I looked on the back, and that's when it finally sunk in. I see all the producers listed. Marley Marl, Prince Paul, Teddy Riley. Then I saw my name, I was like, wow.
That's crazy.
You have arrived.
Where were you when you saw that? Like, where were you in the crib? Like, you was in the studio?
Like, of course, I was where I was at when I got the record, but of course, when I took it back home, and I'm just really sitting there and I'm taking all of this in, I was like, wow. So, thank you, King,
Yes.
for the
yes.
endorsement.
God love the love.
And that led to other opportunities.
Yeah.
That led to other opportunities. And then, of course, years later, we reunited on future albums of his, you know. So.
But people really need to know that, I know we're on the West Coast and everything, and it was the whole so-called East Coast, West Coast thing, but before all that, Bad Boy, you know, created by Sean Puffy Combs, they had their first, the first two singles you produced.
Flavor in Your Ear, right?
Flavor in Your Ear for Craig Mack.
The very first record.
The very first Bad Boy record.
Flavor in Your Ear by Craig Mack.
Y'all know Flavor in Your Ear by Craig
For
Mack.
no confusion, the original version and the remix.
You did both. You did both. You gotta love that. Gotta love that. That's what Big got crazy on that one.
And the Juice Crew
Yes, let's talk about
cold chilling influence was always there. If nobody ever knew it, Flavor in Your Ear was influenced by Craig G's Droppin' Science remix.
Wow.
I never even knew what the sample was. I just know I always loved that sound. To this day, I know that's what. Who's Making Love? Lou
Your
Donaldson,
own,
right?
yeah, to your old
yeah,
lady.
Lou Donaldson. Don't. I just always loved that guitar plucking sound. So I was going through records one day and I stumbled upon this one guitar note. And in the SP1200, you could throw the sound into multi-pitch. So I just was like, don't. And I started adding the drums. And I was like, I did it. I got me a Droppin' Science remix.
And everybody thought that was a horn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Highly influenced by Marley Marl.
There we go.
He's the one.
The conductor of the Juice Crew.
That's right. The producer and director of the Juice Crew. The things that he was doing with the SP1200 at that time.
The machine.
Yeah, and this is all from records. It's all just ideas from taking pieces, clips from records and just arranging them. I thought that was so cool. And my first check
Wow.
that he gave me paid for the SP1200.
That produced.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the
Came
probably
out
was
my
like-
bank account.
SP in the 900.
Huh?
The SP in the 900, right?
No, just the SP1200.
Just the SP? Oh, okay.
900 came later.
Yeah.
Okay, he gave me the check a certain day. That next day, I was right there on 48th Street in Manhattan at Sam Ash.
Like getting it.
And that's dear to me too. I still got the receipt. One day I keep saying that I'm gonna frame it and put that on a wall because
Got to.
yeah, that's
it.
Genesis. That's the
That
entrance.
drum machine made magic, man.
Yeah.
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 But when you think, like, you're working with these guys at the beginning of their careers, Craig Mack and Big, what was it like working with them in the studio, though?
Craig Mack, he remind me a lot of Biz Markie.
Yeah,
He had a lot of
all that.
Biz Markie undertones to him. Like
Right.
his whole drunken and style and the way he used to rhyme. And so I felt like that Flavor in Your Ear beat was perfect for him. It was like, to me, like going back to that cold chilling sound with
Gotcha.
Biz Markie and
And he's animated, so he's all the way there with it.
that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Animated. Yeah.
And then Big, like you working with Big, he's from Brooklyn, because Craig Mack was from Long Island.
Long Island. Yep.
But Big is from Brooklyn, so and he's coming up kind of from the Kane era.
Biz was from everywhere, right?
Yeah, that's what he. That's
He
what
moved
used to say.
around a lot.
Biz was,
yeah.
but Big, I'm talking about Biggie. Like Big, what was it like working with him?
Biggie, he was like crazy laid back. In the studio, I remember the first time that we started working, the music would just be looping. The engineer would set the 24-track tape machine so that the song would just repeat over and over. And he ordering food, he got girls coming through. You know, him and Junior Mafia, they throwing spitballs at each other, whatever. 2, 3, 4 hours going past. And Kane, though, when me and Riff, we used to go to the studio, we was paying for our own studio time. It wasn't from no major record label budget.
Yeah.
So 3, 4, 5 hours passing by, I was like, yo, what's going on, man? Is you writing or anything? And he's sitting there, he's like, I got you. Then he orders some more food. He's like, yo, I'm gonna step out, we'll be back.
Oh God.
And he come back, do that a little more, then he just got up and went into the booth. And I remember he was like smiling, looking at me like that. Went in the booth, bong, bong, bong.
Is this for party?
Big.
This for party and bullshit, or just?
Yeah, for Party and Bullshit. That was the very first song that we recorded. And he go in there, he just bang out 3 verses. I ain't understand that. But then again, I was like, you should understand it. Because Kane, you know this too, in our circle, who we was around, A.B. Money from our group, Rapping is Fundamental, he never wrote a rhyme down in his life either.
Wow,
Right?
that's crazy.
A.B. Money would store everything up in his head and then go in the booth, and then sometimes he would just like kind of freestyle the rest of it, and before you know it, he got a verse. So me seeing Big do that, it wasn't new, it was just aggravating. Because A.B., I knew I could count on him, I know what he was gonna do, but this was new with Big. Other than that, he was fun to be around. He made a lot of jokes. I miss working with that dude.
Yeah.
Working with him, people like Craig Mack.
And you work with Tupac as well.
Yeah. I met both of them around the same time, and when I met them, the 2 of them, they was friends. Everything keep falling back to Kane, to this
Yeah,
man.
because you know where I'm going with it.
Kane is at Madison Square Garden,
Oh, that. Ooh.
Budweiser Superfest, 92? 93?
93.
93. Budweiser Superfest at Madison Square Garden, 1993. Kane performs on the same bill you had
Levert,
SWV,
SWV, BBD.
Keith Sweat,
Yeah.
and all rappers in the 90s, they had like 1,000 people on stage. So he had us on stage, and me and AB and JR, we was standing back by Mr. C. Like we were like back there, like where those yellow lights at. C was behind there. Kane, he's out there, he's freestyling. Kane brought out Shaheem,
The rugged child from Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang Associated. He brought out his dancer, School Lover, changed his name today, AKA Johnny Famous. And then out of nowhere, we didn't know this was gonna happen. Kane said, "Where's Tupac and Biggie Smalls?"
Whoa.
I'm like, yo, I was already working with him at the time, so I didn't know Kane even knew him. I had a relationship with him. Brought them out on stage. They both freestyle.
And that's when you stopped Fat Joe from rapping. I heard that came out recently.
Yeah.
We're going to get back to that, but I just wanted to say
Is that true?
No, it's true.
I don't even remember that.
Right after, because Big rhymed, Pac rhymed, I rhymed, and then stage manager was like, let me know I had 5 minutes left, and I hadn't done warming up or half stepping.
Whoa.
And Joe was coming, and I was like, I gave him like, yo.
Not today, Joey.
Yeah. Nah.
I'm just...
Nah, it was like, yo, I can't, you know. Because in all honesty, I remember when Bobby Brown had brought me out at the Garden, like maybe like a year prior. No, maybe like 4 years prior.
Right.
He brought me out. This is when, the Don't Be Cruel joint. He brought me out, and me, Rakim, Kumo D, Heavy D, all of us, Just Ice. He let all of us rhyme. So I really wanted to do the same thing, but I didn't have enough time. I didn't have enough time.
But what you did do, though, and Mo, we're going to get back to that. What you did do, though, Funk Master Flex in New York on Hot 97, he plays that clip every night. He plays that clip. It's so iconic. It's from '93, and you just get to hear Pac's like aggression just jumping out. He was ready. Big just tearing it down. You going.
No, he don't play my damn verse.
But look, what's iconic about that night, and like I said, all roads lead back to Big Daddy Kane. What's iconic about that night is that's the night when, for the first time, Biggie and Tupac was joined together on stage, and that's the night after that, backstage, that's where I met Tupac. He approached me, he walked up to me, he said, yo, that party and bullshit, the joints you did with Big, he said, yo, I like that, I want to hook up with you too. I'm here in New York, and I'm taping a movie. The movie was Above the Rim.
Above the Rim.
He said, I'm uptown at the Rucker Park, across the street from Polo Grounds, 155th, Harlem. He said, yo, come by my set and, play me some songs. I get breaks, we go on my trailer. So I took me, AB, and JR, we went up there, and one of the first beats that I played them, that became Temptations.
Make sure y'all check that when we get about. Yeah.
And while I was in the studio, I was always good for that, asking an artist, is there any particular sample or somebody that you want to work with, you always wanted to sample? And I'll never forget, he said, yeah, give me some Bootsy, man, I want some Bootsy.
Bootsy Collins?
So the Bootsy ended up becoming Straight Ballin' from What's a Telephone Bill? That became Straight Ballin'. And Pac, he was a smart dude. We recorded a big batch of songs, but imagine, instead of putting them all on the same album, he was smart. He took Temptations and If I Died Tonight, and we did that. He put that on Me Against the World. We did Straight Ballin'. He threw that on his Thug Life album. We did My Block. He took that and put that on the show soundtrack. And it's kind of smart. You know what it reminded me a lot of the same strategy later that RZA will use.
From
what happens is when you do that, you end up on the charts competing with yourself. You know what I mean? Like Wu-Tang was on Loud RCA, Then he took Old Genius and put him over on Geffen. He took ODB, put him on,
Spread them around.
on Elektra.
Electra, yeah.
Ghost is over there at Epic. And so when the records come out, like when we did the stuff with Tupac, at times there was different records we did on the chart at the same time. I had to see it later. I was like, yo, this dude was smart.
He did it.
He had a strategy, because he could have took them all and put them on one album.
Right.
You know.
Doing the research and everything, I saw Idi Amin from the Outlaws with Pac. He was saying that, Kane, that you and Pac ran into each other and that Pac looked out, that y'all linked in some way. And I was like, word, I didn't know. So I wanted to ask you, did you ever link with Pac in any way during any of those days? Because Idi Amin, he was like, yeah, he was with Big Daddy Kane. And I was like, what? So I don't know if y'all recorded or anything like that.
Nah, I met Pac in, I believe it was 1990, I think, when I went on tour. I took Digital Underground out.
Oh, wow.
And that's when Pac and Money B was dancing for Humpty. So that's when I first met Pac, when he was with Digital. And he used to, he pretty much was with School and Scrap every night. And then one night he came and he was like, I want you to hear something. And he spit for me. And I was like, oh, yeah. He was like, yeah. He's like, I don't really, I'm trying to do something a little different than what I do with Digital. But I'm about to do some solo stuff, man. And I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, yeah, you sound hot, man. And he was telling me about, what he had in the works and everything. And I just, was like, well, good luck with it, man. I wish you the best, man. I'm like, y'all dudes is mad talented, man. I love where you going flow-wise, man. But no, other than that, nah, I mean, just that. I mean, we linked probably maybe 9 months or so right before he passed, at the same place. It was a Tyson fight. Whoever Tyson fought right before that, that incident. We was out there because Suge was talking to me about coming to Death Row East. What? So we was out there for a meeting.
Hold on. You had the opportunity to sign to Death Row East. Was that around the time when Eric B. was involved and everything?
Yeah.
Did you consider it? Was it a...
No, I mean, it was like, I wasn't signed to nobody and no other label was offering me a deal. And, Eric hit me up and said, yo, Suge want to holler at you. You willing? I was like, yeah. So, flew out there.
Suge hollering is different.
Huh?
I heard somebody was like, whoa. Like, you get that, yo, you got to talk to Suge. Most people...
Nah, Eric was like, he told me about the Death Row East thing. He said, yo, Suge wanted to holler at you. You interested? And I was like, yeah. So I flew out to L.A. and we chopped it up. And then, Suge was like, yo, you want to roll to the Tyson fight? So we bounced to Vegas. And we was out there in Vegas talking about it. And then when me and Pac started talking about working together, and Suge was like, what y'all waiting for? Let's do it now. So we got on a flight and flew back from Vegas like that night and went to Death Row Studio. And I recorded a song with Pac called Wherever You Are. I wrote a song for Hammer called What You Gonna Do For Me. And me, Pac, and Hammer did a song called Too Late Player, using Junior song Too Late.
Oh, my goodness. That one came out?
Too Late, and the joint with me and Pac, you can find those on YouTube. The one I wrote for Hammer, when he was going through his whole religious thing, he changed the words and made it like a gospel song. So it's a little different.
He flipped it up. Wow, man. I mean, y'all hear the legends that they've been rocking with? This is wild. And we didn't even get into the whole Jay-Z thing and all that stuff. But before we talk about other artists, I do want to get your creative kind of process, because we always talk about how Big doesn't write or Jay doesn't write, and Easy Mo B, you've talked about making beats in a couple of minutes, and some people do that, and you only use vinyl. What's your creative process when it's time for you to, go ahead and go to the studio? Did you already get the beat and you're writing to it and you spitting? Or
It can be either or.
Doing that?
Sometimes I have an idea, a concept in mind, and I don't want it to escape me, so I may sit and create a whole song and then search for a track that fits it or connect with a producer that can create one around the lyrics. So sometimes it works that way. And then there's other times where normally like especially with working with him, he give me something that I feel is fire, I just write to the track, So it either or with me.
And does it take you long? Like, do you a day or two, or do you sit?
It differs, man. I'm a Virgo, so I'm real, I just believe that, and I just have the strong belief that an artist paints a masterpiece. So, I may sit there and paint my masterpiece in 30 minutes. I may sit there and start painting the masterpiece for 2 hours and walk away for 2 days and come back, several days later and finish.
Okay, I gotta ask you, how long did it take you to do Platinum Plus for Big L? Because that was like one of your comebacks to let everybody know I still got it on there.
That we did that day, because it was, everything was so spur of the moment. It was like I was sitting in my lawyer's office, and he got a call from Premier's lawyer about some other paperwork, and then he says, what Primo need to do is have Big Daddy Kane on that album.
Wow.
And then Primo lawyer said, hey, Theo just said that you should put Kane. And Premier was like, yo, where Kane at? Yo, tell him to come to D&D. Is he busy? Tell him to come to D&D right now. So I just went over there, and he played the track and told me what he had in mind, boom, 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 and we put it together.
Oh, my goodness, man. Y'all gotta listen to Platinum Plus with Big Daddy Kane and Big L from Harlem. It's incredible. Y'all understand why I asked that question. Mo, we were talking earlier, and also in the research, I saw you, a couple of years ago at the Classic Car Joint.
Yeah, the Classic
on the west side. It's like a vintage car spot, and it's almost like a WeWork, or not a WeWork, like a Soho House. You have to have a membership to get in there and all that stuff. But I didn't expect Easy Mo B to come in this posh spot, coming to DJ. And not only did he come to DJ, most DJs today, they come in, they have their Serato, they get hooked up. He didn't. He just had crates of records in his records, and I was like, "Yo!" And some of the people that was there was like, "What is he doing?" They had no idea what he was doing. They didn't even know what was in the crates, and they're like, "That's the DJ." So he's bringing in the crates of records, and gets busy on vinyl. Hardly anyone does vinyl anymore.
Still to this day.
Still to this day, yes.
Yeah.
Clap up. What is it about vinyl that? Like, even right now, you're not doing Serato. If anybody in here asks you to go DJ their party, you come in with the crates.
Yeah. That's mainly because I'm a classics man. I like to play my classics. I don't play too much of the new stuff. And that music is just something about it, and handling the vinyl.
Like physically handling it.
Yeah. Everything from the sound of dropping the needle and the slight crackle on it's a vibe. It's something that just do something to me, man.
Yeah.
And it causes the outcome of them beats. When you're chopping the kicks and the snares, and then I'm taking something that normally goes like this, and I'll take this part, that part, and then taking it and twisting it and rearranging and creating something new with it. It's what I know, it's what I come from. It's what me and him did. It's what all of the earliest hip hop did. And if people always try to figure out what is this affinity that I have with the vinyl, that's me keeping my soul together. That's me making sure I don't lose, you know what I mean? The vibe, the feeling, all of it matters, man.
It does.
It matters.
I mean, that's a deep connection. You know, that's like a soul tie with the music.
It comes from my father being a young kid growing up in Brooklyn in the projects, and my father, he had all them 45s stacked high in the corner in the living room, even up in his closet in the hallway, he had 45s, and he played blues, funk, soul, gospel. That's what I adopted, and I'm still carrying that out. I always wanted to make beats that sound like when you drop a needle to a 45. So
that's what's up. And Kane, you produced too. That's the thing. People don't realize like how much you've produced, and over the course of so many years, you start hearing about the stories of your albums, and like, well, Kane said this, and Kane said that. Did you ever want to kind of like get an artist? Because you had Jay-Z at one point to a degree, Little Daddy Shane. Did you ever want to kind of get an artist, foster artists, and get them out into the world?
Yeah, well, I mean, I tried that, you know, back then with Jay-Z and Positive K at the same time. And there was a vocalist by the name of Larry Williams.
Right.
Like I had the three of them, and I was trying to shop them. And, you know, it just became a tedious thing. And, you know, I just finally this is not for me. But I definitely tried because, you know, there were certain artists where I met, like when I met Jay-Z, it wasn't even meant for me to work with Jay. It was meant for me to work with his man Jazzo. Yeah. You know, they were like we did a freestyle tape together. We did a freestyle mixtape together. And then afterwards they said, you know, that Jazz didn't have his deal anymore. And they were like, you know, would you be willing to work with him to try to help him get a deal? And honestly, I kind of like that little light-skinned motherfucker better. Can I work with him? And
so instead of the Jazzo situation, you was like, I like the little young kid that's
yeah.
You see what the little light skin turned into, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what he turns into. That's wild. And you used to have him come out.
Yeah, on the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the same tour that I was talking about, that I took digital on.
Yep.
Like I had digital, MC Light, Queen Latifah.
Oh my goodness.
And Third Base.
Wow, what a tour.
Yeah.
And they on your tour.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But I just did Feels Like Another One with Patti LaBelle. So
Feels Like Another One.
when we paused the tour so that I could go on the road with Patti. And when I was on Patti tour, you know, doing a song with her, just one night I just happened to just realize, yo, that's not the same outfit that Patti just had on. And the comedian that was the host, you know, he was like, where you been, man? That's like her third outfit tonight. You know, I'm like, so then the next night I paid attention. I'm like, yo, she did like 3 outfits. Oh, I'm like, nobody hip hop doing this. So when I finished Patti tour, got ready to go back out on the road again, I called Jay and I called Positive K. I was like, yo, I want y'all to come out with me. I was like, I want to try something new. So I do half the show in one outfit and then call out Jay-Z, Positive K, let them come out freestyle while I go backstage and change it to another outfit and come out and finish the show.
Yo, come on, y'all. This is wild. You gotta give it up. Over 50 years of hip hop, we have these 2 legends up on the stage. It's been a pleasure. I really want to give y'all a chance to ask a couple of questions. We got a couple of minutes for some questions out here. Oh goodness, try this one over here with the Vibe shirt on.
Hello, everyone. My question for you both is, throughout your careers, you got to work with so many talented people. Was there anybody that you didn't get to work with that you wanted to work with, or is there anybody that you would like to work with in the future?
I think my biggest mess up was the light-skinned guy. He just told you. I was busy at the time, right there, right around 94. No, after that, around about 95. And this is when Jay was in the making of Reasonable Doubt. And I'll never forget downtown Brooklyn, right there at a Brooklyn Academy of Music. He used to drive an Acura, and I had an Acura, and we was driving past. He was like, yo, yo, yo. So we get out, we exchange numbers, and me being so busy, it just didn't happen. So, yeah, Jay-Z is one person that, if anything, I wish that I had worked with. In short, I'm trying to tell you, I was supposed to be on Reasonable Doubt.
And Kane?
With me, it would be CeeLo Green and Lauryn Hill.
That's a mean track right there.
Yeah.
Dude in the back with the hat.
I do. Kane, first of all, I want to give you your flowers. I know you always get flowers for being one of the greatest MCs of all time, but I want to give you your flowers for being that dope on the mic and your dance moves, bro. Yo, I just want to say, this is one of the greatest on the mic, but dancing too. I never saw a dude that lyrically, like on his level, that can cut a rug at the same time at that level too. So brother, hey, I'm giving you my flowers as a fellow dancer and rapper. Now for my nerd question, my music nerd question. So I was 5 when your first album came out, so I missed a lot. I used to collect Yo MTV Raps cards. I had some of your cards. So I didn't really know the impact until I heard Set It Off. Like 20 years later, when I was performing myself. So I started performing that song as a cover for fun for our old school section. That verse, when you start off a cappella and the beat comes in, did y'all have it planned like that? Or was it after you heard it and they were like, yo, let's cut off the beat and then start?
It was planned. I was listening to Sex Machine one day on the radio. And I was just sitting there zoning like, yeah, I got to do something like this on the album. Like, I just want to build up the momentum before the beat drop. And you know how like James Brown is like moving, grooving. Can I count it all? Can I count it all? Like he just built up the momentum. So that's why I was like, I want to do something like that. So but you know, in a hip hop fashion.
Yeah,
so
and it gave me that feeling.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, this had to be intentional. So I just, as a music nerd, I wanted to ask you that. So thank you. That's cool.
All right. Dude, right next to you? Yeah.
Cheers, mate. What's the best line? What's your favorite line of any artist? Whole panel.
Mine would be from Kool G Rap. When he said, you wish your name had a G, but to be a badder G, boy, you got to play with strategy. I heard that and said, damn, I wish my name had a G. You know? Yeah.
Mo? One of your favorite lines?
One of my favorite lines, I think it would have to be on his Ain't No Half Steppin'. The way the song just started, and Ain't No Half Steppin', that first line, that also made me understand how important it is. Like your first words, boom. First thing you say, that's gonna set the tone for everything that follows the rest of the song.
Oh my goodness.
You know,
man. I gotta go with Kane too. And I was a kid, of course, in Brooklyn and everywhere else. We used to play video games. You know, and to play video games, you had to get a quarter. So Kane, see? So you had to, and I'm a kid, and you hearing this rhyme, and it's like, it's so great. So he said, so put a quarter in your, because you played yourself. And I was like,
Witty, crazy, crazy.
I was
witty.
just like, and you gotta remember, as a kid, we putting quarters up on the joint, go play. I'm like, oh, he play yourself, but put it in your, it's mine. It's just,
Yeah, but the very first few words you say is crucial.
automatic.
I know plenty of y'all done heard songs where just in the first 2 bars, you're like, oh, hell no.
Grab their attention.
That's
You
how I felt
you
about
got
Raw.
rappers stepping to me.
This guy, come on, man.
You know what I mean?
That's how I felt about Raw.
Oh, raw.
You know, because
Settle.
with Just Rhyming with Biz, you know, here I am with my first single. It's playing on the radio, but I'm at home broke because nobody's booking me for shows because Biz is on the song and everybody thinks it's Biz record. So they're just booking Biz. I'm home flat broke with a song playing on the radio. Me and Scoob still walking to the corner store to steal Mrs. Paul's fish sticks so we have something to eat at night.
Yo,
Serious,
it's
real
crazy,
talk.
real talk. Real
And I'm
talk.
begging Fly Ty, that's the person who owned Cold Chillin' Records, I'm begging him, let me put a new song out. And he's like, nah, Just Rhyme with Biz still has momentum. It still has, he wouldn't let me put a new song out. Then finally he got sick of me asking. He was like, yo, go ahead in the studio, let me see what you come up with. If it's stronger than this, we'll talk about it. And that's when I went and recorded Raw. And for this, knowing that, okay, this is my chance to showcase my talent. And I don't have to worry about, you know, like Biz being on the song and, you know, people not recognizing it's my song. That's why the first thing come out my mouth is, here I am, R-A-W.
A terrorist.
That's the reason why I
Here to
started.
bring trouble to phony MCs who move on and seas. I just conquer. If I, yo, do y'all understand what happens?
Well, all the rest of that is something else. But I mean, I'm saying that first line.
I'm just telling you.
First line, though.
That's why. And then did Kool G get on like it was like an extended version?
He was with me. He was with me the night I recorded Raw. And then Marley brought the track back, and me and G just rhymed.
That was.
So then after Raw came out, Marley started playing the one with me and G. So people started calling BLS, requesting it. And when they started requesting it, Marley said, yo, I want y'all to do this on my album.
In Control?
Yeah, he was like, I want y'all to do this again, but on my album. So he's like, okay, cool. So we was gonna do a song for Marley. And then Marley came and said, yo, I told Craig that y'all doing the joint, and Craig said he want to be on it. But I had just heard Duck Alert.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, Craig done, you know, grew a lot from Transformers. I'm like, yo, Craig is killing it right now. I'm like, yeah, no problem, that's fine. So now it's going to be me, Craig, and G. And then the day we're taking photos for Marley's album cover, we go to his house, and he say, let's do the song. But he said, I want to put my new artist on it also. And
Master Ace.
Yeah, this guy sitting there with these big, gigantic glasses on, and I was like, I'm not rocking with glasses. I'm out. I'm out. And G was like, I'm out too. So we was about to go to the pizza shop, or say we was going to the pizza shop and leave. And then the whole big discussion started about, you know, who gonna go first and who gonna go last. And then Ace just, you know, got up and rhymed.
Yep.
And when he rhymed, I just started elbowing G like, your glasses kind of nice. And I was like, yo, I got a lot of respect for this dude. And we stayed, we finished the song, and that ended up being the symphony.
Ooh, my goodness. Incredible story. Way over there in the back. I know she's been raising her hand over there. But they got a mic.
Well, this isn't really a question. I just wanted to circle back to when Mo was talking about Flavor in Your Ear and how he made the instrumental. I just want to thank you for that instrumental because that was the first hip-hop instrumental that I looked up, like hip-hop type beat on YouTube. And that was the one that really, like, being my homegirls, we would always just play it and freestyle to it. And I want to thank you and let you know your art doesn't go unnoticed. Even 20, 15 years from now. Thank you, because I still hear it and it still goes crazy.
That's what's up. That's what's up. It was someone over here that wanted, yeah, right here.
What's going on? For Kane, my question is, what was the most memorable record to make? And for Mo, what was your favorite beat that you made, and what's a beat that you didn't make that you wish you made?
Oh, okay.
You go. No, you go. I want to hear this.
My favorite beat that I've made, a lot of people would think she talked about the flavor in your ear. No. My favorite beat, believe it or not, is Everything Remains Raw, Busta Rhymes. And the reason why is because if you listen to that beat with The Coming, Busta's album was 94, right?
That was the second album?
Yeah.
94. In Everything Remains Raw, it explains everything in my style. Everything about my style is in there. The chopping of the beats and rearranging and creating something brand new. Because that's what Flavor in Your Ear was too. It was something from nothing. In other words, in Flavor in Your Ear, there's no loops. I have the one guitar note that I was transposing, bum, bum, and then I added drums and on the hook, what I had like a rock guitar lick, and that was kind of it. But Everything Remains Raw is like, to me, like Flavor in Your Ear on steroids.
Yeah, yes.
Because I got real technical with it. I started adding pads of like Rhodes keyboards. It's like some sweet Rhodes in there, and you have some futuristic bleep sounds that I was using, and none of it is a loop. Everything that you hear that's happening in that beat is original, and I'm making it happen. So that's the reason why that beat is one of my favorite beats, if not the favorite, because it explains
You got the whole thing in
my
there.
style. And, I want to give props to Jay Dilla. I want to give props to Jay Dilla because his sound just so crazy. I met someone in his crew, and first of all, my brother. I got a brother that produces too, LG Experience. He was going down to Detroit and he was messing with some artists, and he ended up around them, and they told me many years later, they say, yo, you don't know how much Dilla loved you, man.
Wow.
And when I sit and I listen to his sound, I'm like, wow, it's amazing that if on any level that I could influence somebody like that. So it's like,
I have to be honest with y'all. I have never in my entire life heard nobody who chop game on a drum machine is as amazing as this dude sitting to the left of me, man. You remember that night when I got on your nerves with the Donny Hathaway joint?
oh yeah.
When I was driving you crazy, you put the headphones on so I couldn't hear it no more?
Like
'Cause I'm trying to get him to finish the damn beat, and he got tired of me nagging him. He put the headphones on and started making it. Yeah, like I've never. Oh my goodness, this dude is so phenomenal. But I'm gonna tell you. There you go. My favorite Easy Mo beat is a beat that you probably never heard. Since everything is available in the world, I'm pretty sure you can find it online. But it's a song called "Who's the Man." I think that's probably the best beat this dude ever did.
Rapping
This
is
beat
fundamental.
ridiculous.
Okay, yeah. I had put out some independent stuff, pressed up our own records and put it out in the 90s. We had the other two groups on there too, The Nation and Soul Survivors. But what he's talking about there is also throwing back to the favorite beat that I told you about, Everything Remains Raw. I got to a point where I just got tired of looping. I was managed by Rush. He was managed by Rush too, but Rush Artist Management. And then they started RPM Rush Producers Management. And rest in peace to this woman, Francesca Sparrow, that was managing me over there. Fran, you probably know her.
Yeah.
One day she called a meeting, And me, Daddy-O, Large Professor, Hank Shockley from Bomb Squad, all of us called us all in the room together and handed us out a memo. And it was a paper, and it had all of these different names on it. We looking, she hands the memo out to us, and all it is a list of, it said Prince, Anita Baker, Steve Miller Band. It goes on and on and on. And she said, you see that? We was confused, like, yeah. She said, stay away from them.
Wow.
Meaning like,
don't sample.
Be more mindful in what you sample and how you sample. And I remember I left the office. I was parked right outside on the sidewalk. You remember 298 on Elizabeth Street. The car was parked right outside. I went outside and I got in the car. I ain't even pull off right away. I sat there probably about 5-10 minutes. And yo, I was depressed. Because in my mind, I was like, yo, what I'm gonna do? What you gonna do? And then it's like another me started talking to me and said, why you always gotta loop stuff? Why don't you, instead of sampling big loops, why don't you sample the instruments out of records and play back something new? And that's how we got Flavor in Your Ear.
Yeah. Everything Remains Raw. The joint I did with him, the La La Land. It's an art. It's an art. It's piecing. It's making a collage. It's the piecing together of something brand new. That's why since then I strayed away from a lot of the looping. There was times when I returned to it, but only when it was easy to be cleared.
Right.
Like when I did Straight Ballin' with Tupac, the What's a Telephone Bill by Bootsy's Rubber Band, in a scoop, they was willing to clear it. Then there's other different things that you can do if you're gonna sample, if you're a producer and you're working with a label. Sometimes, just say like you're working for Warner Brothers. If you're gonna sample from the Warner Brothers catalog.
There you go.
They'll be more than open to clear that. That's
Yeah,
what I would do a lot of times too. I'm working with a label, I'm saying, oh, this is Capitol, and then I said, let me figure out the mergers. Oh, EMI owns Capitol. So I'm like, yeah, do that.
There you go.
You know.
Super smart, y'all. I'm so sorry we got to wrap it up. Definitely got to wrap it. But what we want to do is we want to thank you for listening and being a part of this. Your questions were amazing as well. Kane, Moby, it's been an honor.
Thank y'all, and salute to my brother Big Daddy Kane. He gave me my first opportunity. Eternally grateful, bro.
No doubt. Thank y'all so much.